So, ladies and gentlemen, the press conference is about to begin. And we have in the back row, our right to left, Heikki Kovalainen, Daniel Ricciardo, and Kamui Kobayashi. In the front row, our right to left, Pedro de la Rosa, Lewis Hamilton, and Fernando Alonso. Good afternoon, everyone. And Heikki, if I can start with you. Tell us about the challenges of this track, because you made a number of comments in the preview that it isn't your favorite, brake cooling so important here, and the track evolves more than others. So number of comments in the preview that it isn't your favorite, brake cooling so important here, and the track evolves more than others, so more than any other. So perhaps you'd like to expand on those.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. And I've read those previews. I think our press officer Tom Webb probably has had something to do with that. It doesn't mean that I hate this place. You know, I love this. When we look at the weather, look at the circuit. Everything here is actually very, very good. And I've had, I think I have pretty good races in the past here. I was on the front row 2009 with McLaren, so there's nothing negative for me to say about that. So that's all I can say, really. I look forward to a good race. I think it is a street circuit, but not as hardcore as Monaco or Montreal. It's easier, the curbs are easier, slightly smoother. We can run the car very low. It's very, very smooth. So I think if you just find a good setup on Friday and Saturday morning, I think it's really good fun to drive. In terms of competitiveness, you know, whether we will be closer to the cars ahead of us or not, I think it's hard to tell, hard to say yet. I think we need to wait and see where we are. But I'll definitely look forward to a good weekend, and I think everybody here are going to have a good weekend. The weather looks fantastic.
Just looking overall at the performance so far in the 7 races we've had so far, how do you feel the team is progressing, getting closer, definitely getting closer to the teams in front?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to say that, you know, we were hoping to start the season closer to the cars in front of us. Obviously on the winter testing, we thought we were closer, but then when we arrived at the first few races, we were not as close as we thought. But since then, I think the team has made a lot of effort, and in my opinion, in all the right areas. So I'm very happy to see that. I think we are making good progress. Obviously, John Ali from McLaren has joined us very recently, and I think in the next few races we'll see updates coming every race, and we know that for us they feel quite significant updates, but I think we need to wait and see, you know, how it translates into a circuit actually on the racetrack before really making too many predictions. But I think the main point being that I see the team has grown a lot since last year, and since the beginning of the year I think we have focused absolutely in the right areas to make that relative gain to the teams ahead of us. Whether we can do it or not, you know, really on track, I think we need to wait and see. But I think we can do it, and I'm looking forward to, towards the end of the season, more regularly beating the cars ahead of us.
Okay, thanks very much indeed. Dan, first of all, it's virtually the anniversary of your debut in Formula One. It's virtually a full year in Formula One. How do you think it's gone? You pretty much where you want to be?
Good day, everyone. It's gone very quick, actually. Someone, it's probably my dad, told me very recently that it's, you know, nearly been a year that I've been here, and you know, I remember Silverstone like it was a week ago, and time goes very fast. So I think, yeah, it's you know, you got to try and take advantage of every opportunity and make the most of everything. So you know, I've had some good times in the first year, and some times I wish were better. But yeah, you know, generally I'm enjoying it. It's a good, you know, obviously a huge experience and a great learning curve for me. But you know, now you know, after a year, it's time to kick on and try and you know, get some solid results. So yeah, I think as for this season, we've been a bit up and down. Kicked it off pretty well in Melbourne, and probably would have liked that to continue, which it hasn't done as smoothly. But yeah, you know, we still got a long season ahead of us. So Experience is growing now, and I think it's time to, time to try and get a few more points on the board and turn a few heads would be nice.
And of course, you will know all the circuits from now on, apart from obviously America, which nobody will know. But how important is that? I mean, for example, here you haven't raced here, but you were here as a Friday driver last year.
Yeah, it's. I think it helps a bit. You know, I think once you get to this level, you can pick up a new circuit fairly quickly. But I guess if it's one you've driven on over and over, you tend to know a few more secrets about it. But having done FP1 here last year will get me into the groove of things a bit quicker. But I think, come Saturday, qualifying, everyone's pretty much into it, whether it's a new circuit or one we've been to before. So, maybe there's some special circuits along the calendar. Monaco, for example, maybe, the more experience you have there, the quicker you'll eventually go, knowing a few more little secrets, which lines to take. But, generally I don't think it changes much now. So, looking forward to a stronger second half of the season, and hopefully it can start here. It's nice and warm, so a bit like home. Although I haven't really been living at home for a while in the past 6 years or something. So, maybe it'll take me a little bit of time to get used to the heat again, but looking forward to it.
Which basically means it's not like Milton Keynes.
Not really, unfortunately.
Thank you very much. Can we, first of all, the Sauber seems to be suited in certain areas, not in others. What about this circuit?
Well, I think here pretty okay. Only we have to focus to walk tire with this track temperature, because this is quite extremely high tires. So I think car itself, okay for this track, but difficult to say before on the grid on the track with this temperature.
I mean, is it still about tire management? It's very interesting. Your teammate, for example, is always cited as somebody who's going to have a one-stop, just as he did here last year. How does that affect you?
Well, I think last race, Sergio did a really great job for the tire management. But I think this season so far, very important to be the clear. If we are on the behind traffic, we damage tire, of course. So it's not only the tire management. We have to be clear. We don't need to be something aggressive for the tire. I mean, it's only the driving, situation as well. So it's difficult to say it's coming from only the tire and driving. It's all mixture. So let's say, Sergio last race, he definitely had the great driving. Also, he had quite a lot of time, not so much traffic. So that's the key to manage the tire. But also last race, I think everybody quite long decide for. Everybody expected, I think, before going to race to do two stop, but actually we recognize one stop is quicker, and at the same time it seems to be difficult to overtake again because everybody train. So that's what's mispredicted for the last race. From my situation, just I had to change strategy during race, which is it's quite difficult. But I think team had a really great job for the performance, and they gave us really great advice, and we see, I think, a good step from the car, and we try to understand more tire. Of course, I think this track temperature is difficult to see, but I think from their experience, I think we can sort out.
Okay, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Fernando, we read that your teammate, part of his resurgence, as it were, is because of a different setup. He's gone his own way on setup. How does that affect you? Is that an advantage for you?
No, I'm not sure about the different setup comments. I don't think that there is any big difference compared to the first races, and so no, it's not affecting for sure my program. And I think for Felipe is getting some good confidence now in the car with the last changes, and maybe some tweaks in the setup, but nothing dramatically changed. And now it seems that we can be both competitive, and this is the best news for the team. And as we always repeat, the team, myself, is he's having full support from everybody inside Ferrari, and now we are convinced that second half of the season will be both up in the front.
And how do you feel about the development of the car? I mean, obviously, it didn't start off a very good car, and you really were pushing for development. Has it taken longer or shorter than you hoped? And are you nearly there?
I'm extremely happy with the effort from the team. It's true that we didn't start in the best position, so maybe on that aspect we were a little bit advantaged, because it's easier to improve a bad car than a good car normally, because we have many things that didn't work at the beginning. So it was maybe a little bit easier, as I said, to put it everything right and start work. But it's true that in the last maybe 4 Grand Prix or something like that, every new part that we bring into the race, normally it correlates and is working as we expect from the wind tunnel. And this is something that we struggled a little bit in the past, in the last 2 years especially. So, more self-confidence, I think, now in the team, in all the new designs and all the information that we get from the wind tunnel. We can be a little bit more sure now. So this is good, not for now, also for the near future.
Okay, thank you very much. Lewis, championship leader, 3 times second at this race, in Poland 2009 as well. But the team, it's a very different championship this year, as we're all aware, and it's very important to bank points, as you've pointed out in the past. How difficult is that for you? Because we see you as an out-and-out racer who wants to win all the time. How difficult is it for you to... Is it a mindset? Is it a change of mindset?
Good afternoon, everyone. For me, I think I still want to win every race. It's just you have to be perhaps a little bit more strategic with your approach this year. We've seen 7 different winners, and both me and Fernando, I think, have pretty much scored in every race. Yet the championship is so close, so I don't think there's too much of a different approach. But you just have to be a little bit more sensible, I think, this year.
And in terms of the championship again, obviously consistency hugely important. Is the development still coming all the time from the factory? I mean, we hear about it from various other teams. Is it still coming from McLaren as well?
The guys are working as hard as they can, and we're pushing as much as we can to improve. We've not had the same size of upgrades as others potentially have. We've not really had an upgrade since Barcelona, but we hopefully will have something come very soon.
So for here or British Grand Prix?
Probably for British Grand Prix, I would have thought, yeah.
Okay, thanks very much. Pedro, sorry to keep you waiting. Nice to see you in the front row. First of all, problems with the brakes at the last Grand Prix. Do you think you've pretty much sorted those out?
Well, we are not sure. We think we have, and actually we brought slightly more front brake cooling, which was our limiting factor in Canada, knowing that Valencia is also a little bit easier on the brakes. So I think all in all we should be okay, and we should be able to go flat out all the race and finish this race because of brakes.
I asked you a similar question in Barcelona as well. But how much are you enjoying the development of the HRT team and the car itself, and especially when you get as close as you did in the last Grand Prix as well, when you were starting to make inroads with the team in front?
Well, we're having fun. We are having fun because all in the team we are all pushing very hard and we are making progress, which is essential in this sport, and especially when you make more progress than the people around you. However, we still have a long way to go, and we are not where we want to be, and there's still a lot to be gained. But we are having fun because each race we are more competitive, and especially in Canada. I mean, it was a shame to retire so early because I was having a lot of fun inside the car. We were able to fight. We were able to fight against people behind or in front, and we were actually looking good on strategy. But anyway, let's see how it goes here. Valencia is also a similar track to Canada in terms of car setup, slightly more overall downforce, but it's there's a lot of slow speed corners and a lot of heavy braking, which we seem to be quite good at.
Okay, thank you very much. Some questions from the floor. Let's start.
It's a question. It's a question for Fernando and Lewis. First of all, for Fernando, it seems to be already a silly season, but not even for the next one, but for 2014 and behind. And it seems to be a lot of rumors, even from your team, about you and Sebastian together. So what do you think about the possibility of this cooperation? And for Lewis, about this point, and the second one, you seems to be a lot more friendly now with Fernando than back to your cooperation. So what do you think, maybe in the future, would you like to work together in the same team?
Well, with rumors, I think with Ferrari are always the same. When I won 2005 championship with Renault, it was linked to Ferrari immediately, and I arrived in 2010. So if Sebastian is linked now, maybe arrive in 5 years' time. I don't know. Every summer is the same with Ferrari, as I said, but at the moment we repeat the same thing. Extremely happy with Felipe. Whatever teammate comes in the future will be welcome, will be part of the team and part of Ferrari. And as I said, when I joined this team, the most important part or the most important thing in Ferrari is to help each other to make one red car win. And it's something that President Montezemolo is very clear when you arrive day one in Ferrari. So whatever teammate is coming in the future, if it comes, will be no problem, and we will try to work as we are doing now with Felipe.
I don't really know what else to say. I think it looks like they have a good team already, and we have me and Jensen, I think, provide a good, strong driver lineup here at Vodafone McLaren Mercedes, and that's what I need to focus on. That's the most important thing for us at the moment. I don't really know what else I can say.
Yeah, question for Fernando. Fernando, would you be happy repeating last year's second place, or do you want to win here, considering this is one of the very few circuits where you haven't won yet?
Well, difficult question. Sure, getting some podiums now in the next couple of races, especially in July, we have 3 races in 4 weeks, will be important to have some consistency in this very important month that we think. But being on Thursday, we only think about victory because we want to win, especially here in Spain, in front of our fans, and we will try our best. But difficult question, because we know second in this type of championship is also good points.
Fernando, what do you like on that track? What do you dislike? And how do you rate the atmosphere of this venue?
From the track, I like the heavy brakings and the last sector, especially, which is maybe the most challenging one. The first 2 sectors are more or less the same. Some straights, but they are not really straight, so you are always turning in, and it's not so easy maybe for overtaking for this reason. But then in the last sector you find some interesting combination of corners that I think you enjoy, the high speed corners plus the last braking that is a little bit challenging. What I don't like from the circuit, nothing really. I think it's all fine, and there is not any place or anything that is a big problem. And the atmosphere is one of the best. It's one of my preferred Grand Prix of the year. I like the city. I like the atmosphere here. There are a lot of activities around the Grand Prix as well. It's something like Singapore in a way, which a lot of music, concerts around. There are some go-kart circuit outside for the fans and some other activities. So I think overall the weekend with the beach 100 meters from the track, etc., make something nice for the people that comes for the weekend. I think we also like in a driver point of view.
Ian, just here, please.
Question for Lewis. Hi, Lewis. Ron Dennis came out with an interesting comment during the Canadian or after the Canadian Grand Prix when he was asked about you staying with the team. He mentioned that you're coming towards the end of a contract that was signed at a time when the economy was somewhat different. He said now there has to be a balance. Can you understand Ron's comments first of all, and do you appreciate that when it comes down to negotiations with McLaren, yourself and your management team might have to ease off on your financial demands because the economic times are very different now?
Ron is a very tough negotiator. He was very, very tough when they negotiate the contract that I have now, and I expect him to be the same when we go back in, but I don't see there being many problems, to be honest.
Question to Fernando. Fernando, you pretty know well Romain Grosjean from your experiences in Renault 2009. In your opinion, what is his best quality so far this season, and which area he could still improve?
Yeah, I know him. We were teammates first as a test driver for us, and then racing with us as well. And he's very talented driver. He won EC GP2, and in Formula 1, I think in 2009, the car was not so easy to drive, and he found some tough time. But now he's showing the potential. So he's young, talented, very quick. Over the whole race can keep a very good pace with not mistakes. What maybe things to improve for sure is the experience, because this is something that you never stop learning, and more races you do, more championships you do, you improve little things and little tricks in different circuits. So yeah, a little bit of consistency will come only from the experience point of view. But I'm happy with his performance, happy for him. I think we'll have a very interesting season from now on after the podium in Canada, and the toughest time will arrive only on Saturday with the football, I think.
Can I have your name and publication, please?
I'm Ignacio Naya from DPA. This is a question actually for Fernando and Pedro, and also for Luis. Well, I know you are football fans. You are probably following the Euro Cup. I would like to know, what do you think about the Spain team? Are you suffering or are you enjoying? And what do you expect? And how are you going to watch, or are you going to how are you going to follow the match on Saturday? And have you talked to Romain Grosjean?
Well, I would say I am enjoying it massively because we are the best. It's simple. Having a great time watching our team. A lot of Barcelona players in the Spanish national team, which also helps. But it's great. It's great to see us doing so well. Actually, I quite liked also what the Spanish coach said the other day, that we've gone from poor to rich too quickly, and I think it's a great phrase. And we should never forget that all Spain is behind the team, and we are all very proud. I don't know who is unhappy about it. No one, not me.
Yeah, same thing. I enjoy. I watch all the Euro, and I will watch Saturday, I think, here in the motorhome with some friends. Didn't spoke with Grosjean at the moment, but I will. And yeah, I'm enjoying as well, like Pedro. I think we are very privileged to have this national team, this generation of players. Probably, as Pedro and the coach said, we will remember this generation in a few years' time, but now it's very easy to criticize. But we will regret this soon.
David.
And then after you. I think you're sitting on the fence a bit with your football punditry here, folks. What we want to know is who's got the best chance of winning this weekend, Spanish or the English football teams, or Lewis and Fernando out on the track, and maybe Pedro. You get the casting vote on this one. So Lewis and Fernando first, and then Pedro to adjudicate.
But I don't know what you want. I mean,
Pedro, you need to talk behind this press conference and ask for some money, and then you make the comment.
I will not give you money. So you can tell Luis, no problem.
Lewis, your thoughts on England winning or your own victory?
I don't even know when the game is, if I'm honest, for England.
Sunday night when we're all on a plane.
Oh yeah, hopefully I'll be able to watch that then. So, but I mean, they've been playing pretty well recently, so I hope that we have a better shot this year than we have in the past. But we are obviously there are other great teams out there, and Spain, of course, is one of the best teams there, obviously. So it'll be interesting. But I'm not gonna pay Pedro either to say anything.
You'll be rooting for Italy, I suppose.
Yes, yes. Sorry, but I prefer Italy in this game.
Andrea, beside you.
Question for Luis. Luis, you said in Canada after the race that you weren't able to make one pit stop strategy. With this hot condition, do you believe that your car can react well, or will be too hard with the tires? And the second question is about the pit stops. You have a problem in the pit stops too in the last Grand Prix, and you have to push a lot. Did you work on it during this period, during these 10 days, please?
On the tyre side of things, I anticipate it's going to be another very, very tough weekend, trying to look after them. I think it'll be very interesting to see how all the teams vary as they did in the last race. And you have to expect teams like Lotus and Sauber and doing very, very well in their long runs, and Ferrari also very, very good on their long runs. So I definitely don't anticipate doing a one-stop strategy this weekend. But I'll obviously try to look after our tyres the best we can. In terms of our pit stops, we're constantly altering and improving, I think, race by race, and the guys are going back to the factory after every race and with footage of the pit stop to understand and analyze exactly what went wrong, so that the next time we go out we don't have that problem. So I think this weekend we'll have even a better set of pit stops again. I think in the last race, the actual first pit stop, if we didn't have the problem with the pull away, I think it would have been maybe the fastest of the whole season so far. I think it was like 2.8 or 2.9. So it was quite a stationary time. I think was 2.9 or something like that. So it was quite quick, but I lost a second as I pulled away. So, the time's there. We're just going to keep working on it.
Ole.
I've got a question for Fernando and for Lewis. Some countries are no longer in the European soccer, like Holland. Some of the soccer players are being bashed around for not talking to their fans. Do you feel that Formula One is doing enough, and you as drivers, for your fans?
Do we think we're doing Formula One? We are doing enough for the fans. I don't know. I think we've had. If you look at the last race, for example, we have such a great event. There definitely are races where there's not so many people that arrive to watch the race, but I don't know. I think we're doing a pretty good job. I don't know what else they could. I'm sure we can always do better, but I don't see a problem personally.
Yeah, I agree. I think anyone can do more or less, depending on which one, but a part of NBA, I don't think that there's any big sport that does better job than Formula One.
Any comment in the back row? Heikki, Dan, can we know? Heikki?
Well, I think the photo has asked many times the fans. I think Martin Whitmarsh has been very open, and the fans have had a word, and I think many times the fans have been happy. So I don't see any problem there now.
Okay. Patrick.
Yes. We are here in Valencia, in Spain, and there is an economic crisis in Europe, and in Spain particularly. I want to ask a question to Pedro and Fernando. What is your feeling about the economic crisis in Spain? And what is your feeling, and what can you do for that?
Well, I think we feel obviously sad and worry about situation in Spain, which is not ideal at the moment, but I think we are in a completely different matter, which is the sport, and we are doing a great event in one city that will be worldwide known, and on Sunday in millions and millions of televisions around the world, so it's a very good publicity. And at the same time, I think the economical crisis is not only in Spain, not only in Europe, it's worldwide. And if we question races or sport events, we will never finish, because then we have to question in Poland why they do the European Championship, maybe in the Olympic Games, and so on and so on, because there are macro sport events that is always a question if it's necessary or not.
Yeah, no, I fully agree. It's terrible for I mean, Spain. It's terrible for Europe, the world. We are under a crisis. We have all friends here in Barcelona that have lost their job, and it's very bad. But as Fernando said, it's not only in Spain. You know, it's everywhere, I would say. And also, the only thing we can do really is, first of all, concentrate on our job and try to make their lives better, or with a good entertainment show on Saturday, Sunday. And then also, as a team, I think HRT is an example of what can you do in Spain. Invest in a difficult moment, give opportunity to young mechanics, engineers, people, drivers, and this is what we are doing. So it's very bad, but as I've said, also crises come and go. It's not the end of the world. We have to look ahead, and we have to recover. We have to fight crisis and wait for the long straights that will come.
Jonathan.
Question for Fernando. How much involvement do you have in when teams come to select teammates, be it wherever you've been? Do they consult you? Do they ask you, what do you think of him? Could you work with him?
In the past, never. Now in Ferrari, yes.
Really?
Well, I'm in Italy every week, so when we are there, sometimes I see President, I see Stefano, and we talk about development of the car. We talk about GT. Now there is some work doing a new car that will be at the end of the year, that we are doing some tests for the GT car. We talk about future in Formula One, about Corsa Clienti, which is owners that they have all Formula Ones that they want us to be there in some circuits to teach some senior drivers, and also about future and teammates as well, etc.
So if you said you didn't want A or B, would you hope that they listen to you?
I doubt. It's an open chat. We talk, but at the end, it's their decision.
So would you welcome the chance, say, to work with Lewis again? Would that be on the agenda, or is that...
No problem.
Not a problem?
No problem.
No one at all, even Sebastian Vettel?
No problem.
So there should be no reason, absolutely, but you welcome the challenge from whoever would be deemed good enough to be a Ferrari driver, or whichever team you were?
Yeah, I do. I think I have a lot of respect for Felipe, and I think the challenging moment that even if from the outside it's difficult to notice this, what a challenging time is given to me in the last 3 years is not bad, even if from the outside it looks easy.
So you wouldn't mind him staying on then? You think he could stay on? Think he's got the potential to do that?
I think so.
Yes, Carlos, you're over here.
The question is for Fernando, for Luis, and for Pedro. When I saw you in this line, I remember McLaren 2007. What was the best and the worst memory of last season for you three guys?
For last season or for that season?
No, that season, 2007, yes. When they are teammates. They were teammates.
Well, from my point of view, it was a pleasure to have two super drivers next to me and learn from them. It was really interesting. And the worst, clearly, to lose the championship on the last race in Brazil. I think that the three of us more them than myself, because I was unfortunately not driving. But we all wake up at one point for 5 a.m. and with a cold sweat around our head, because it was a shame. But they are the best. They are really pleasure for me to be in the team with them and learn. I'm a sponge.
Lewis, best and worst memories from that year?
It was the same. Losing the championship was definitely even though I had only just got to Formula 1, but just having it and losing it and having it, and it was very, very tough. But I think the best was winning my first Grand Prix that year. Getting to Formula 1 and having the great opportunity and privilege of working alongside Fernando and Pedro, and working for such a great team, and won my first race in Montreal, was part of my life that I could only have ever dreamed of.
Fernando?
Yeah, same. Worst moment was losing the championship, for sure. The last race, and after being at the top of the table for the whole season, we lost in the last race. And best thing was for me the technical approach, that it was very different compared to Renault, and all the things that I learned in the technical side, as I said, on that year. I think they were very, very important for the rest of the career, and I improved 200% that year, like a driver.
Okay, thanks very much, gentlemen. We'll leave it there. Thank you.